Next, I'm going to walk you through how to do a deep dive report. You will be pulling this report daily and using it to complete your team status report, which we will discuss later on in training. So from the main homepage of the dashboard, you are going to go into Report, Deployment, and then you're going to select the dates in which you want to pull recaps from. So let's say August 5th through September 2nd. And then let's do a little bit smaller of a time range. Let's do the 19th. You want to click Generate Report once you're happy with the time frame in which you want to view data. And then from here, you want to go ahead and export that information. Once you hit export, it will go ahead and pull up an Excel spreadsheet with all of the data that you selected. You want to click Enable Editing. And to make it easier for you, you do want to add filters at the top. So you go ahead and highlight row 1 and then filter. So one thing I do want to note is the fact that once you select a time frame in which you want to view data, it's going to go ahead and pull data from every single market that submitted recaps during that time frame. So the very first thing you want to do is filter by zone. You'll find zone in column F. So as you'll see, a lot of markets are submitting recaps during this time frame that you identified. So you want to select your designated market, so you're only seeing that market's data. I'm going to use Milwaukee as an example for this scenario. All right, so now it's only filtered to Milwaukee point of sale recaps that have been submitted. So since you are, let's say, you only want to view one individual's data that they've submitted. Let's say we want to take a look at Cole Leto's data. We'll select his name from the filter, and it'll pull up all of the point of sale recap entries that he submitted during that time frame. So it looks like he submitted 123 locations or 123 point of sale recaps. Within each recap, the data you'll receive on the back end is merchant name, outlet, zone, address, postal code, merchant type. One thing I do want to point out is under non-deployment. So under non-deployment, this is how we're going to identify whether or not each visit was successful or unsuccessful. Successful means we were able to place branding at that designated location, and unsuccessful means that the merchant turned us down and we were unable to place branding for whatever reason. So this is something that we really want to pay attention to when we're pulling this deep dive report. We want to see on average how many locations each individual was able to place branding. So non-deployment, no, means that it was a successful visit. So non-deployment means unable to place branding. If non-deployment, yes, is indicated, that means that yes, it was an unsuccessful visit. So let's go up here to sort A to Z. Once again, it was 123 locations that he submitted recaps for. Of the 123 locations, it looks like 73 of them were successful visits. So getting out my calculator here, it looks like his success rate of point of sale placement is 59%. To me, reviewing through this, that's pretty low. Ideally, we would like to be 80s, 90% success rate range. In this scenario, looking at his numbers, I would go ahead and have a touch base with them and say, hey, I've noticed that you have a fairly low success rate in placing branding. Tell me what's going on. How can we help you? How can we help to get your numbers up? Another thing we want to take a look at when we're reviewing through this information is the number of visits he's having per day. So we're going to go over here to deployment date, and we're going to sort A to Z. So looking at the 11th of August, it looks like he only submitted 3 recaps. On the 12th, it looks like he submitted 25, which is great. On the 13th, he submitted 22, and so on. So we really want to come through here and make sure that they're visiting the required 20 plus visits each day. If not, once again, we're going to need to have a coaching conversation. And that is the majority of the information that you'll want to be reviewing while digging through this deep dive. While it is fairly manual experience, it's super important that you're coming in here and tracking your team's performance daily. Once again, you will utilize this deep dive report for your team status reports that you'll be submitting to your GMR management team daily.